I guess just to start off, just state your name and what you do.
All right, my name is Jim Lundquist. I'm a longtime volunteer at the Railroad Museum. I've been a former president. Right now I'm Assistant Director of Facilities and also an engineer and other crew members at Campo. Okay, so most of the time the train crew would come on duty around 8:30 in the morning, and they need to go ahead and start unlocking it, putting on water and those kind of things, fuel for the generator.
Major contributing factor.
Yeah, that was probably the one hole that really, that was the biggest hole in the cheese.
So we have a sign-up sheets here, so all the crew members are writing their name and their member number and how many hours of rest they've had and what their sign-in time is. Because we're all limited to 12 hours maximum.
All right, so let's start with the track warrant for the day. Track warrant number 2024-071, dated October 26, 2024, to conductor and engineer, SP 3709 with Fire Patrol at Campo. Xbox number 4, work between milepost 65.0 and milepost 61.6 on main track desert subdivision. Xbox number 16, track bulletin effect is number 300. This track warrant has 2 boxes marked 4 and 16 with an OK time of 0800, dispatcher CRA.
The engineer then will start going through the engine and preparing it for operation and starting it, doing an air brake test on the engine, doing an air brake test on the train.
This is a brake shoe. We look at all of the brake shoes on each one of the wheels. Each wheel has 2 shoes. There's one here. Both of those look good. This is what's called a brake cylinder. It's extended, which indicates that the brake handle for the engine is applied so that the engine won't move. This one's less than 6 inches, so we have to make sure we have less than 6 inches of play here.
Yeah, Randy's been around for a long time. He's been an engineer and a conductor for us for many, many years, a good volunteer. Comes out of Rancho Bernardo area, pulls a couple of runs a month at a minimum. Good guy.
I've been coming out to Campo since 1991. I became a brakeman in 1993. I became an engineer in 1997 and a conductor in 1998. And I've been doing all those jobs ever since. Loving every minute. Now we go to the other side and do the same thing.
So 3709 was the low-nose Jeep 9, general purpose 9 locomotive that Southern Pacific owned. They were the only railroad that had low-nose Jeep 9s.
It was built in 1959 at LaGrange, Illinois, electromotive division of General Motors, 1959. We have 2 of these locomotives that were built in the same year.
We acquired it from government surplus when it became no longer needed at Camp Pendleton, and we picked it up at Oceanside. We trucked it to Campo.
This is the automatic brake for the train. This controls the brakes on every car that's hooked up to the locomotive, and it also controls the brakes on the engine. Whereas this independent brake controls the brakes only on the engine. 3709.
I'm going to release your handbrake.
Go ahead, get the handbrake.
Okay, so when you add a passenger car or any car, for that matter, to a consist, there's a little bit of a dance routine to it, if you will, to couple, pull, air brake test, and then be ready to go, assuming the coach is actually ready to go. This equipment is somewhere between 80 and 100 years old, most of it, and so we have to maintain it to today's standards, but that's always a challenge. And those open-air cars originally came from a commuter line back in New Jersey. We modified them here and upgraded them, and they're very similar to the coaches that San Diego and Arizona Eastern ran when they were running passenger trains, which quit in 1951.
There we go. Okay. Stretch him.
You need to redo not only just coupling together physically, which is like a glad hand coming together, but you also then have to couple air hoses together because the train brakes work on air. So you have to pump all the air up, and then you have to do a test to make sure it's working properly before you can move the train at all.
Conductor 3709, I'll call your spot.
Okay.
One to go, one.
One more to a stop.
Half a car.
You got 20 feet. 10 feet. That'll do.
Again, that indicates that the brakes are set, and we are going to stay here for passenger boarding.
Brakeman training to 3709. You're clear 10 cars west, 10 over, and I'm on the point with the air.
Alright, train's on the point with the air, clear 10 west, 3709.
Gates are hot. You're clear 4 cars to the gate over. Clear 3 cars west over. Clear 3 cars west over.
The engineer is responsible for the engine and making the train go forward and back. The conductor is responsible for the entire train operation, be it switching or where he wants the engineer to park the train. Colin's a relatively new guy. He retired out of the city of La Mesa Police Department. He jumped in both feet first as a volunteer, so he's not only train crew, but he's also our vice president.
We're coming up on our oldest working railroad employee. Matter of fact, here he is. Hey, Frank. He always wants a day off.
The brakeman is assistant to the conductor, and his primary job is to be the eyes and ears for the engineer when he's pushing down towards the direction they're going. So, because the engineer is on the other end of the train, so he can't see. challenges we face are mostly, it's all downhill. So air brakes are the most important thing you can monitor and change on the engine as you're going down. So gravity brings us all the way down, and maintaining a constant speed without going too fast or too slow is the challenge for the railroad. That's the major challenge for each engineer.
Highball Canyon eastbound to the Railroad Museum and then Form A 15.
All right, we're going to Highball Canyon, Railroad Museum, Form A 15. Let's go first into that.
San Diego and Arizona Railway was the last transcontinental railroad built in America. It connected San Diego to Southern Pacific in Yuma, and it passed through Mexico and came out in Campo. And that part of the railroad is the part that we run on now out of Campo. We run somewhere between 4 and 14 miles, depending upon the era that we're in, what we maintain there in Campo. So it's historic in that it was connecting the port of San Diego to Yuma. And it was the competition to the Santa Fe Railway, which came into San Diego in 1880s or so. Well, the museum was, it started with a group of small people. There was a small group of about 6 people that got together in the late 1950s and decided they'd really like to build a railroad museum. And so that was the beginning of it. And then when we bought property in Campo in 1980 and started developing the property then.
Yeah, about a half a carpet. 30 feet. And that'll do. We'll move that mark for you.
When we first bought the property, a lot of people were questioning why we went so far out, but I'm really happy that we were able to do that because the community of Campo has really welcomed us there, and we can pretty much do what we think we need to do as far as an educational museum's concerned. So nobody gets in our way, nobody says like, wow, really ugly trains or old rusty buckets or whatever. Other museums have been put out of business because their neighbors didn't like them. So the fact that we were able to own our own property, the fact that we have the county support and the community support of Campo is really critical to our operation. People are really what makes the whole museum go. So the fun stories that I remember all involve people. A lot of people just showing up out of the blue sometimes when you had to do something. There was a derailment. It's time to put a new roof on a building because the old one blew off. Just showing up and doing the work. And the volunteers are the ones that make it all work. So my best memories are the people that, some of them are no longer with us, that have just put in multiple hours and multiple dollars to make this all work. And those are the ones that we're really most thankful for, the ones that just continue to put in the time and continue to put in the dollars required to do various projects, be it restore a car, restore a building, maintain a roof on a building, what have you.
Hey.